My name is Haile Matutu. I'm a master's student in psychological research at UCT. I'm also a member of the Hub for Decolonial Feminist Psychologies under the direction of Dr. Shose Kessi and Floretta Boonzaier. Well, it does many things because it's a transdisciplinary space that focuses on feminist approaches to psychology and particularly decolonial ideas around psychology. So it encourages us to have conversations with disciplines that speak to similar things as we are interested in. One of the things I love the most about it is that it allowed most of us who couldn't find a voice within the mainstream psychology to find relevant ways to do work that matters to people like us, people for whom life has not really been seen to be much valuable or worthy of study. I work on queer subjectivities, queer masculinities particularly, and the encouragement I get from working in this space to do ethical work that doesn't pathologize people, but sees different ways of being as potentially valid, without the nuance of there must be something wrong with someone to not be normative. Well, abantu abafana I'm particularly concerned about Black people, the experience of Black people. I've never really got to understand the psychology of Black people in the way that I've lived it when I was learning psychology. It always seemed like this aspirational psychology, or how maybe one day I'll be like that. But then when I realized that I wasn't that person and I didn't experience the world in that way, I was very interested in finding ways of who are people like me, not only in how they look at the world, but how they experience the world. So the Hub helps a great deal about that because they help us center other ways of being African. I like especially the idea that we don't even take a single approach or view of what it means to be African in the Hub. We actually entertain the fact that being African is not necessarily this deeply spiritual person, because most people that I interact with are not terribly spiritual. In my work, I don't come across people who designate their lives and understand them in terms of spirituality, yet somehow some of the members of their families might. It's about understanding how people construct subjectivities, in my case, understanding those and the many different influences in these people's lives, and honoring them and centering them instead of seeing them as anomalies in a way. So that's one of the wonderful things about being part of this great space. For the longest time, I never considered my work feminist because I thought that feminism was something that other people did. Until people in my space, in the Hub, started referring to my work as doing feminist something. And perhaps it wasn't totally intentional, maybe it was coincidental. But the idea of, I think that you can't study masculinities without talking about women. Even in my study that focuses exclusively on men, that presence of woman is always there. So I suppose my understanding of a critical feminism allows me to engage more fully with the experiences of being a man, even if those experiences are of non-normativity.